Well. It is officially 3 o'clock Eastern Time. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear, and welcome to the Sunday video update. Today's date is Sunday, February 19th, 2023. Joining me off camera, as usual, not always, but usual, my dad, and Amy is on the couch, off camera. So, for those of you who are new to the live streams, welcome. Every Sunday, I go live for about roughly an hour, beginning at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, going until about 4 o'clock or maybe a little bit thereafter. And I just talk about the week in review. Now, if you haven't noticed, I am wearing a Michigan State University t shirt in today's live stream. And most of the world knows about the tragedy that occurred on the campus of MSU last Monday. Um, I didn't know what was going on at first because Dad and I were out at Billy's last week, and I got back home and I was scrolling through my Facebook casually, and I was noticing posts about MSU, like first responders, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe it was just a fire, like a fire had broken out on campus or something. Um, but then I had realized that it was something much more bigger, much more uh, profound, and it was something that had captured the national news. And that was there was a shooting on campus at MSU, and our local television stations, WSMH and WJRT, and I think WNEM, they were running things on the bottom of the screen, um, advising parents of the students at MSU that they cannot come on campus because they're in a lockdown situation, and um, they're yeah, because of an active shooter situation, and they were just the whole campus was on lockdown. And then I would find out later that 3 people had died from, gunshot wounds, and 5 others were being treated at Sparrow. Now, at last check, I heard that one of the 5 is listed in stable condition, and the other 4, I think, are still in critical, but I haven't checked the status updates on those people yet. But 3 people, ended up dying as a result of gunshot wounds, and the gunman, he was a 43-year-old. He had no affiliation, no ties with MSU whatsoever. He wasn't a student. He wasn't a teacher. He wasn't a professor. He wasn't a staff or a faculty member. He had no connections with MSU. And according to the reports that I have heard, he was spotted walking down Lake Lansing Road, and a unit from I think it was Lansing PD or maybe Ingham County, East Lansing. I'm not sure, but there was a police unit that rolled up on him. And as they went to apprehend the guy, he put a gun to his head and he took his own life. I'm to say that I'm not shaken up by this is an understatement because I am very familiar with that area. I have a very storied history with East Lansing, the city itself, plus MSU, just going to MSU for my checkups and my cancer treatments and all that stuff. I am very well familiar with those areas. Grand River Avenue was bombarded with heavy police presence and emergency personnel. It was quite the scene. And watching CNN, a national cable news channel, covering this was even more of a just like my heart dropped into my gut. The reality of that was so just heavy because they're rattling off street names like Lake Lansing Road and Grand River Avenue and Abbott Road and MAC and Farm Lane and Circle Drive. I am familiar with all of that area. I have driven those roads. I have traveled those roads. When I would go get my checkups in East Lansing at the radiology department, we always used Saginaw Road to get to Hagedorn and then Hagedorn to Service Road because that's where the clinical center is. But I am very, very familiar with East Lansing and that entire area. And I just want to say that my love and condolences go out to the families of the deceased. I offer my love and condolences. I also offer my love and thoughts to the families of the victims currently being treated at Sparrow and to the entire MSU community, the city of East Lansing, and even the city of Lansing. Um, it's very sad and it's disturbing and it's heartbreaking. And I wanted to make sure that I wore my shirt or some kind of apparel today to show my love and support for MSU. Um, I was left speechless after this happened. I just didn't know what to think. I was writing all this down in my journal, and it's like, I just can't believe this is happening. You're not safe anywhere you go. And so it was believed that the gunman, his name was Anthony Dwayne McCrae, age 43. It was believed that he entered onto or into a publicly accessible area at Michigan State University. A lot of people probably weren't aware that MSU had publicly accessible areas for the general public to just come in and enter onto. Um, but then I got to thinking because when we pay our property taxes, which we just recently did on Valentine's Day, Delta College shows up on our property taxes. So in that regard, Delta College must be a publicly accessible area because we're paying taxes on it. So if we're paying taxes on it, therefore it's public. So I'm assuming that's what's happening with MSU. I think it's a taxpayer location, or when you pay taxes to the city of East Lansing, it makes it a publicly accessible area. That's what I'm guessing, and I could be wrong. So please don't take my word for that. But um, it's just a real tragedy, and it's been on my mind all week. Um, I'm really just sad and heartbroken, and my heart goes out to everyone in East Lansing and all of the students and staff and faculty members at MSU. Like I said, I have a storied history with going on campus for my, my chemo and radiation, plus going there for just, regular routine checkups. My oncologist are MSU grads, so that hit me in the heart. And it was just a wild week. Yeah. And, we had a tragedy in Oxford, and that was big. That was big news. The mass shooting in Oxford. Mind you, East Lansing is about an hour from here, and it's closer than Oxford because Oxford is more closer to, say, like Pontiac or Lapeer, like in between those areas. It's in Oakland County. But when it's only an hour away, this shit is serious. It's real. No matter where it happens or what's going on, it is real. I don't know how to fix a world where we will one day wake up to the realization that we will never hear of these things happening ever again. There's a lot of talk about gun control and gun ownership and the Second Amendment. I'm not going to get into that here because I'm not here for the political side of things. I'm here just to express my sentiment for the people at MSU and to kind of explain how things unfolded. And that's, to my knowledge, that's what happened. Plus or minus, there's a plus and minus margin of error for misinformation. But the misinformation, if there was any, is not deliberate. I'm trying to be as accurate as I can be. And the thing that really got me was the law enforcement, because they had press conferences, several to numerous press conferences, and they were telling people on TV, don't go by what social media says, which I understand it to a point because there's a lot of misinformation that gets spread about on social media, and people tend to go by what they read. It happens all the time. Um, However, if it's coming from them and someone or people watching that relays what they said onto Facebook, that's kind of where there's a bit of a conflict, because if we're watching it and we're relaying what we hear and we expect them to be truthful and accurate in the information that they provide, I don't see in that regard, I don't see where it would be a problem, only if people are just making shit up on the fly and trying to convince people of something, horrific or something worse than what it actually is. So, in that regard, I understand it. But if it's someone who's watching the actual press conference as it's happening on live television and they're relaying what they are hearing, then I don't see where it would be a problem because it's coming from the source on television. Or if the MSU police, because they have their own police, of course they would have to, but they were updating their Twitter page, which I don't have Twitter, by the way, but they were updating their Twitter page with updates. And but at the same time, law enforcement's telling people don't go by what you read on social media, but it's coming directly from MSU. So there's a conflict there. I think what they meant by that was don't listen to unreliable sources. But again, the conflict remains. I'm not a news reporter. I have no ties or connection with media outlets of any kind whatsoever, although I am very good friends with a lot of people in television and radio. I'm not a reliable source, but I do go by what I hear on TV. So, um, to be fair, I relay what they say on television. Even if they don't have an answer to a question, not having an answer is still an answer. So, that's why we have to be careful in what we accept as fact and what we accept as anything but fact. So, moving on, after that long it's been a long week. Um, so on was it Thursday? I had my eye doctor appointment. So on Thursday, I had my eye doctor appointment over in St. Charles at Advanced Eye Care. It went really smoothly. Um, Dr. Wiki is a very nice lady. I had taken that erythromycin, I think is how you pronounce it. It's a little tiny tube of gloop, is what I call it. Uh, but it's ointment for your eye. Um, and I told her, I said, well, this is what the hospital had given me. And she says, "Are you done with this?" And I said, "Yeah." She says, "Good, so am I." And she chucked it in the trash. It's like, I love her already. And I'm thinking, I love you already. She says, "I don't give this to my patients." She says, "Although it's good for the eyelid because it's like a lubricant for the eye." She says, "I don't expect any of my patients to take this stuff, and I really don't like to prescribe it." But she had put some drops in both eyes, and then she put like this numbing solution in my eye so she could shine a light in it and you know take I guess you would call it observe. She was doing an observation of the conditions of my eyelids, and she says, "Well, it looks like you have a nice little broken blood vessel in there. It's a beautiful broken blood vessel." And I said, "Well, what's so beautiful about it?" She says, "Well, it's beautiful because it could be something much worse, and then at which point it wouldn't be beautiful." She says, "But I can deal with a broken blood vessel." She says, "It happens all the time. You're not the first person to come in here with it's called a subconjunctival hemorrhage." And she says, "You're not the first person to come in here with that issue." She didn't prescribe me anything. She wanted me to, she says if the bleeding persists, then I would have to, well, I got to go back anyway. I have to go back on his birthday, April 6th at 9:30 in the morning, same place in St. Charles. And if the bleeding is, if it continues by then I could have what's called an iron deficiency anemia. And what that is, it has to do with your red blood cells. Because your red blood cells carry oxygen to the tissues in your body. And if there's not enough red blood cells, or if there's something going on there, I may not be getting enough oxygen to the tissues in my body. So I could have a condition called iron deficiency anemia, which means I'd have to eat raisins. And I'm not a fan of liver. I don't like liver, but liver has a lot of iron in it. I might even have to take iron supplements. But we're going to find out in April what's going on with that. My eye does not hurt. It never hurt. There was never any pain involved. It was just the blurred vision from the blood dripping down. But she said, you know, it's not anything I would worry about. She says, but just take it easy. And yeah, I asked her. I said, well, any idea how that happened? She says, when you took a poop, you strained yourself. She said it could happen from, you know, from a sneeze or a cough. But jokingly at the end, she says, when you sat down on the toilet, she says you strained yourself too hard when you were pooping. And then she laughed about it. So, but she's got a sense of humor. And she was a very nice lady. I hope I see her again when I go back. Um, but so that's what's going on there. A health update on my mom. So she did have a tumor removed on the 1st of February, I believe it was. And then, according to her Facebook, there was an update on that. I guess the tumor had grown back. So now she's going to have to go to, well, she's got an appointment coming up in Ann Arbor on March 2nd, coincidentally, the same day as my diagnosis date from my battle with Wilms tumor, March 2nd. It'll be 34 years. But she's got to be in Ann Arbor on March 2nd. She's asked me to take her down, which I probably will because I'm familiar with Ann Arbor, among other places. Am I worried? Yes. Am I panicky? No. I'm trying to remain as diplomatic about this as possible. I want to reserve the big major feelings until after I know what exactly is going on with my mom. I'm trying to be calm for her. I'm trying to just take it easy for her. I'm trying to play it by ear for her. I don't want to blow anything out of proportion like some people I know. And it's unnecessary. So I'm trying to be the diplomatic one here by saying, you know what? We don't know yet. Let's not get all worked up when we don't even know what's going on. So March 2nd, I'm taking my mom to Ann Arbor. There's a cancer center on the campus of U of M. Hopefully, we get some good results or a good report. Yeah, so that's what's going on with my mom. And before I signed on to Facebook, this is YouTube. This is YouTube, folks. We're not on Facebook, but before I signed on to YouTube, I was looking at Facebook. That's what I wanted to say. And I learned that Richard Belzer had passed away. For those of you who are not familiar with who Richard Belzer is, he was a comedian and he was on Law and Order SVU. He's a guy who wore the glasses and he had kind of the big ears. He passed away this morning or maybe early this afternoon. He was 78 years old. I have not read a cause of death. And last week we lost Raquel Welch, the beautiful, gorgeous Raquel Welch. She was a sex symbol of the 1960s. She passed away last week. And Burt Bacharach passed away, I think, a couple weeks ago or a week ago. So we're losing a lot of well-known celebrities. A lot of famous people are going quickly. So that's the latest in celebrity news, so to speak. So how was your week, Dad?
Good news from doctor. Doctor said my blood work come back all good. Everything. So.
And Dad doesn't have a blockage in his leg, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that what they said? Mm-hmm. So Dad does not have a blockage in his leg. They're yeah, that was painful. That was painful. I was sitting in the room with Dad when they were touching the prongs to his legs, and I watched the amperage go up on the computer screen, and the next thing I knew, Dad's jumping like, ooh, biting me. But it jolted him. They jolted him a few times. Yeah, she says, here, would you touch that prong? No, thanks. No, thank you. I don't want to get bitten today. But yeah, so the good news is it's not a blockage. She was really nice. And she, you know, she's doing her job. She had a job to do. And the doctor was really nice. Even, you know, they stuck needles in Dad's leg. That didn't feel good. Yeah. So it could be just arthritis. Yeah. So there's that report.
That's normal.
And his blood work came back normal. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but Dad's test results from his labs came back normal. Which, by the way, speaking of labs, I did mention something about the iron deficiency anemia. I'm going to have to reapply for a family doctor again soon so I could get those labs ordered up. Or they're going to order the labs, I should say, and then they're going to draw the blood and find out what's going on. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I hope you've all been doing well. The chat logs are open. I don't even know if anybody's watching. Let's see here. It shows that one person is watching.
Not me.
It's not Amy, because I did look over. It shows that one person is watching. I don't have my cell phone next to me. So if anybody is messaging or texting me, I'm not going to hear it because my phone is on the charger in my bedroom. So, to the one person who's watching, welcome. The chat log's open. Make yourself known. But as I had written, govern yourselves accordingly and maintain civility, or I'm going to give you the fuck off boot in a purple oblivion and you can go bye-bye. But come on in and say hi. Let's converse about things. So, gee, I don't even know what else to talk about. I think I pretty much covered all the bases. Yeah, the weather is actually beautiful today. It's supposed to be around 50 degrees. We do have, as a matter of fact, we have another winter storm on the way.
Oh, shut up.
It's expected to hit on Wednesday. Yeah, on Wednesday, we're expecting another mixture of rain, snow, sleet, freezing rain. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to get hit with another storm. But, in honesty, though, we've been spoiled. I mean, the weather has been great. It's been it's been unseasonably mild for this time of the year in Michigan because usually we have all kinds of snow on the ground. It's February. Yeah, I mean, this is late February. We should have snow on the ground. And it's been so warm. We've been so spoiled with the warm weather. And I would much rather get the heavy shit now as opposed to months down the road, May, June. We've had snow in June before. Well, those are typical times of the year to get snow, but I'd rather get the shit now instead of, months down the road. But yeah, we do have another winter storm on the way, and we are expecting all of the above: rain, snow, sleet, freezing rain, and I think, yeah, rain, snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Yeah, I pretty much covered them all. And it's probably going to get windy too. Yeah. Knowing Michigan, yeah, it's going to get sloppy around here on what they said Wednesday or Thursday, like midweek or so. That cat out there, I didn't feed him. He's out there making noise. But anyway, I was actually thinking about going grocery shopping after I wrap up this Sunday video. Probably going to go to Owasso, hit a couple of grocery stores. I decided tonight for supper we're going to have shake and bake chicken and Velveeta Shell's macaroni and cheese with potato patties. And it sounds very good. So I don't know.
I made supper the other night. We had biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, biscuits and gravy is pretty good. I want to try something different though. I want to explore a little bit. I want to try bean soup.
Bean soup, yeah.
I love bean soup. My grandpa Fuller used to make bean soup all the time. And yeah, I know. And I want to learn how to make it. If I got to watch some YouTube videos, I'll watch YouTube videos. It may not be the same as grandpa's, but I'm going to give it a try. I want to learn how to cook different things. And I mentioned something about making my taco salad too. Yeah. I love taco salad. I don't care if it's winter time. Taco salad is good any fucking time of the year. Mm-hmm.
is too.
Yes. Actually, there was something else I wanted to talk about. I mentioned this on my Facebook. Um, by the way, yeah, I have Facebook. Hit me up on Facebook with good intentions, of course. But anyway, so someone on my Facebook decided to block me. And this is not something I'm sweating. I'm not even making. It's not a big deal, but it's something that makes me laugh because of how fucking petty and childish it is. Um, but there are people who get so easily offended and butthurt over the dumbest shit. Someone blocked me because I reacted to a post of a tattoo with a laugh emoji. I got blocked on those grounds. Now, look, I understand that some tattoos that people wear have some profound meaning to them, and I'm not trying to diminish or take away from that. They have some profound meaning to them, and like if it's their child or whatever the case, it doesn't matter. But I put a laugh emoji or a laugh reaction on the post, like several other fucking people did. I got blocked because I laughed about it, and I found out later on that she said, "Well, if y'all are gonna laugh, get off my Facebook." All right, bitch, bye. Uh, Go ahead and block me. I don't care. I'm not losing sleep because it was so fucking petty that I just laugh about it. I just think it's funny that people will block you over the absolute dumbest shit. And it's like, whatever. I don't know. I just kind of look at it, laugh, and it's like, fucking dumb people. Dumb people. But yeah, that's the pettiness level. Like I got a buddy on there. He says, dude, he says, I was blocked today because I associate with someone who some other people don't like. Okay, I have that going on too. Like I have friends who I know associate with people who've lied about me in the past and they've said horrible things about me. I know that that is the case. But I'm not going to block them because they associate with people who are frivolous and lying and manipulative assholes. If they want to continue to be friends with those people, fine. Don't bring it to me and don't go back and tell them what I write or what I post because then we're going to have a problem. But just being friends with them or being connected with them without actually saying anything, which by the way, it doesn't make a bit of a difference either way. I'm living my life. I'm being honest with who I am and what I'm about. Always have been. And if you're friends with the enemy, well, I mean, now I have to make sure that um, you're minding your P's and Q's. If you're going to be friends with me while being friends with the enemy, you're going to behave yourself or I'm going to get rid of you. But I'm not going to just block you on the grounds of you're friends with the enemy. It's stupid. And it's even more stupid to block somebody just because they laugh at a picture of a tattoo. Give me a break. Come on, Patty Patty. Cry me a river and issue a fucking flood warning, okay? Nobody cares. And that's exactly how I had written it on my Facebook post too. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you most likely seen the post. Um, but it's so stupid. And it's like, why do people get so offended and butthurt over the dumbest shit? My buddy Ryan Boroff, he posted a picture of a tattoo of his cat. He's got a tattoo of his cat on his shoulder. It's like, okay, but I told him, I said, but if I laugh at this picture, if I put a laugh emoji on your picture, I would suspect that you're not going to block me over something like that. Why would you be so offended or pissed or butthurt? Um, if I know Ryan better than I think I know him, I don't think he would actually block me if I put a laugh emoji on a picture of a tattoo. I mean, I don't have tattoos. I have battle scars, which are also good enough for me. Those are my tattoos. Um, but people are just they get so offensive about stupid shit. I don't know why. I don't get it. They're over here whispering off camera. They try to be as quiet as can be, but I can still hear them. But I did tell them before I went live that they would have to kill the noise on the electronic devices and on the television, although the TV's off. But the thing is, for those of you who may not be aware, if my microphone picks up any music or anything coming from their phones, this live stream could be hit with a copyright strike. And I think, they're pretty understanding about that, which is why they've turned the volume down on their electronic devices, which I do appreciate. What's next week?
Next week, I gotta go into Owasso. I've got to go the 27th and then stop in and get paperwork, fill that out, so I can have a counseling session over the phone on the 28th.
Mm.
Then on top of that, bills, and then I got another freaking appointment with Dr. Alam. It's like, geez, all these appointments, I can't deal with them.
It's like, Jesus Christ, why all the appointments?
I want to get in for a knee.
Yeah.
Get my knee checked. I'm waiting because I got so much going on.
Yeah, there's so many appointments this week, or this month, I should say. And then, of course, I have an appointment in April, which is fine. It gives me plenty of time to do other things I want to do. I need an oil change for my van, but I want to do some traveling.
Dad and I had a trip planned.
Yeah.
Appointments interfere with it.
Yeah. See, and that's what I want to do. There's some friends I want to. Yeah, I got some friends in Ohio that I've been wanting to meet. Yes, Ohio, and they know who I am. They know who I am, and they know me better. But yeah, I'm going to be driving to Ohio and hanging out with some friends. I'm not going to say their names, but I've got friends everywhere. But Ohio, yeah, I want to drive to Ohio and see some friends of mine. I've been invited to their house already, so I'm not worried about it. But it's going to be a good time. I got some people to meet, hang out with them, places to go, people to see, things to do, kind of a thing. And the traveling hopefully isn't going to stop there because I have other places that I'm going to travel, which I'm not going to say where I'm going. But Ohio is just the next state over. I mean, it's all in driving distance. It doesn't matter. So, yeah. And I sent out a bunch of letters, a whole bunch of letters all over the place, to cancer warriors, mainly cancer warriors, and to some other friends. But I love writing letters to the cancer warriors because it shows them that, I don't care about fame and fortune and popularity, and I'm one of those guys who has never cared about fame and popularity or whatever. While it's true that many people know who I am from the child of cancer world or demographic or whatever you're going to call it, I'm not in it for vanity. I continue to stick to my roots and I hold true to those roots. And when I write letters to cancer warriors, that's an interaction from one survivor to another survivor, or from a survivor to a warrior. I like to maintain that and to keep those connections open, which I still do. But
I'm making so much noise over here, guys. Try not to.
I just like to show people that they're not alone. That's always been my thing. I just don't want for anybody to feel as though they're going through something alone, or to the point where, well, nobody understands what I'm going through. Right here. Hello, over here, like I do. Because I certainly do. I certainly do, man. That's why I do what I do. I'm not a part of a clique or an organization or a club, which there are plenty of those in the childhood cancer world. And I've noticed too that I actually mentioned something, which I think is, I caught someone in a contradiction again this past week. So someone posted a meme on their Facebook, not anybody on my friends list, but someone that I've talked about before. They posted a meme on their Facebook, something to the tune of, I don't care how other people view my life. Okay. So, first of all, you don't care how other people view your life. However, how ironic that you're going to post that on social media where we absolutely give a fuck how other people view our lives. That's why we post it. That's why we share details of our lives with each other every which way. That's what social networking is about. So to say that you don't care how other people view your life, you're a fucking liar, which I exposed this person for being a liar a long fucking time ago, but they keep illustrating and exacerbating my point that I've been making over and over and over again about this individual, and they continue to demonstrate my point for me. So thank you. So that's number one. Number two, you post this meme, you don't care how other people view your life. However, you have a blue check mark next to your name to verify that it's really you. Do you think you're really that special? Do you think you're that important that you got to have a fucking blue check mark next to your name on Facebook? Now, once upon a time, I considered getting my account verified on Facebook because of the fact that so many people were pretending to be me. And I've had a lot of imposters over the years. Like there was years ago, there was a rumor that I died. Well, apparently I didn't. But there were people who were pretending to be me. They were stealing my profile picture. They were using my name, like someone had created a fake Instagram account under my name. And by the way, I don't have Instagram. I don't have Twitter. I don't have any other social media platform. All I have is YouTube and Facebook. That's it. But I had thought about getting my account verified, looking into that, just so people knew that it was really me, legitimately me. And if there's any other fake Facebook account out there, it's not me. And so this way I wouldn't have to keep announcing in a Facebook post, hey, if you get friends requests from people who aren't me, just to let you know it's not me. If I had the blue check mark, it would eliminate and diminish the fake profiles. I don't have any backup Facebook profiles, by the way. But this person in particular does it for vanity, calls himself an activist for childhood cancer awareness. He is a fucking liar. I exposed him a long time ago. If you think about it, you know who I'm talking about. We've had a history of arguments before, but that's what the advocacy world has turned into relating to childhood cancer. It's all a fucking show. It's vanity. I'm not about vanity. I'm not about the vanity. I am about that direct connection. And I think that's why so many people are jealous of me, Amy. I think that's why so many people are jealous of me, because I can actually relate to the children better than their parents can.
Yeah.
You know? And
that's why some of them do what they do to you, Jared.
Yeah. I think there's a bit of jealousy going on. Now, I'm not jealous of anybody. I went through what I went through. I walked through fire, with childhood cancer. What's the word I'm looking for? Figuratively speaking, I walked through the fire of childhood cancer. I come out on the other side carrying buckets of water, so to speak. But I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm not above anybody. I like to think of all of my friends. I like to think of them as equal. I don't think I'm above or beneath them. They're not above or beneath me. I want to treat everybody equally and to view other people equally. But there are some people who use sick and dying children to feed their starving ego. They use the children as fodder for their starving ego. Hunt Tom Mitchell. Oops. I said his name. Oops. That was no oops. But that's what's going on. There's a shit show going on with advocacy, and I, for one, am not a part of it. Just like all this other shit going on with, oh, look at me, and I'm on TV, and I'm who fucking cares? I've been on TV. I've had poems published in local newspapers. I've had rewards. I've won awards for my poetry. I'm known to lots of people. I've had my name used on television. I have a YouTube channel, for crying out loud. That's why I have a little over 350 subscribers. Obviously, someone out there watches my channel and they enjoy my content and they love coming to the live streams every fucking Sunday. I don't think I'm better than anybody. But the difference is that there are people like who I just mentioned. They have that little blue check mark because they like the vanity. He thinks he's so important and so amazing that people pretend to be him. They want to be just like him. No, we don't. No, we don't. If I ever became someone who jumped on a bandwagon, if someone started a rumor about someone that I might have an issue with, I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon of fostering a lie, sharing a claim with unfounded truth, no evidence to support it. I'm not going to get behind something I can't prove. He's done that. So if I ever I would never turn out to be somebody like that. Once upon a time, maybe because I was very immature in my thinking, but we're grown ass adults. We should be better at that. And we should be better than that.
We should be teaching our children
that you shouldn't believe everything you're told.
Yep.
And as adults, we should be much better equipped. And we should have much better bullshit detectors internally to distinguish fact from fiction, what's true and what's not. That's why I always say I don't believe everything I see on social media, which I don't, unless there's good evidence to support it. Or if I can go to a reputable source to determine what's true and what's not, cool. But I'm not going to just believe everything on the fly willy-nilly just because a bunch of people say it. That's not how we discover truth. That's never been the way. It'll never be the way. And, it's much like germs. You have to build an immunity to bullshit because bullshit in and of itself is a germ. If you don't have a strong enough immunity to bullshit, you're going to go through life believing everything you're told. I'd rather not. I want to be as precise and as accurate as I can be and believe things when the belief is warranted with strong and sufficient bodies of evidence. That's the way my mind works. That's the way everybody should think. But they don't. And that's the demise of humanity, because now we've got social media where, hey, it's a free-for-all. Everybody just believes what they want to believe, whether or not it's true, even if it means someone's life was on the line. Hey, and to be someone like who I just mentioned wants to be a well-respected, highly regarded person, but he's going to jump on a bandwagon and foster a lie. Doesn't make you look very good. He's
Another thing I can't stand is when people out there know that you don't believe in something completely, and they just keep pushing and pushing.
Yeah.
Your stepdad's one good for that.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, yeah, I do believe some things with God, but then again, some things I don't.
Yeah.
But please don't put every video you send
right
as God.
And I'm glad you mentioned that too. You brought up religion, because for those of you who are not aware, and you may be a first-time viewer here, I'm an atheist and Amy is a Christian. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you believe in God.
Yes, I do believe some of it, not all of it.
We live in a house divided. There is never an argument between Amy and myself, or Dad and Amy, when it comes to religious beliefs. I'm an atheist. I realized that a long time ago that I can't believe just because it's in a book, it doesn't mean that it's true.
No.
There's no evidence to support. And by the way, I mean right away when you open the first Genesis in the Bible, right away you know it's bullshit. We have actually we actually have scientific evidence models that give us a good idea of the beginning of the universe, the planets, the Big Bang cosmology,
That's what they call it. Before Christ.
yeah. We have evidence for that.
You know what's really weird? Is that I cannot figure out. Okay. We have no evidence that God told Noah
Yeah.
to go build an ark and add the animals 2 by 2. We have no proof.
There was
besides what they say in the Bible.
in the Bible that it's just not accurate.
Right.
There was never a worldwide flood. It wouldn't have happened because how would you account for the evolution of land animals? They can't swim.
Trees.
The vegetation would die.
How did the trees and
Yeah.
all that?
Oh, if there was a worldwide flood,
How did
things would never have evolved the way they did over billions of years. Yeah.
I mean, it goes way back to where you got your cave days.
Yeah.
Your cavemen days. That's before Christ.
Yeah. And furthermore, you talk about Noah's Ark. You could never put two of one species on the same fucking boat because
Unless it's male and female, and
they would-
reproduce.
they
in
would-
that 40 days.
it's not even that. They would eat each other. One species would eat the other species to maintain life. There's no way that could have happened. And there was no worldwide flood. There just wasn't. I mean, there's evidence showing that there was no worldwide flood. There's nothing favoring a worldwide flood. It never happened.
Well, and like I was telling Dad, sorry to bring it up, but after Grandpa passed,
Yeah.
I told Dad, I says, why in the hell?
You can say fuck, but hell, you can whatever.
Why in the hell doesn't God keep the good ones on earth and take all these bad people that are out there, child molesters?
And I would say in response to that, because regardless of good or bad, death is inevitable. Whether you're good or bad, you're gonna die anyway, no matter what. But I see, I see what you're saying. If God is so good, why does He allow evil?
Yeah, for like an example, okay.
That's part of the religious doctrine, by the way.
I'm gonna use your mother.
Yeah.
Example. Okay, she's got this cancer.
Yep.
Is God going to heal her?
No.
Or is the devil gonna, as they would say, the devil gonna step in and take her life?
Modern medicine and science is hopefully gonna save my mother.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, just put your faith in the Lord. Well, first of all, there's no evidence for the God you believe in. There's no way to demonstrate that God, well, according to the Bible, God is all good, all wise, all powerful, all knowing. He's omniscient, omnipotent.
He's a higher power
He
than
knows
judge.
he knows more about you than you know about you, apparently, according to the old, ancient, dusty fucking holy book. Okay.
Oh, and the New Testaments too.
Yeah, which, by the way, is basically the same fucking thing. If God knows what people are going through, then He should have the wisdom and the power to get you out of it. Now, why doesn't that happen?
And I've always wondered,
Because there is no God.
if I
Spoiler alert.
If I actually do believe in God. I mean, yeah, I was raised Christian,
Me too.
but with everything that's happened in my life and around me.
And I always used to say,
now.
I question that a lot too. Well, if God loved me so much, according to, because I have these conversations with my mom, who was a Christian. Why, if God loves me, why did he allow me to be sick as a child? If you say that God was testing our faith, well, don't you think he could have done it in a lot less painful, scary way than to be a pretentious asshole if it really was, in fact, a God who put me through that? Your God is he's incompetent as fuck. If he is responsible for the things that I had gone through in my life, what is this, like entertainment for your God? Your God's a dick if that's the case.
And don't they realize your Christians supposedly realize that it can be hereditary? Say your mother may have had it, not known.
Because like most Christians, they don't consider scientific theories. And when I say scientific theory, people look at it, oh, it's just a theory. No, in science, the theory is the graduation point of a hypothesis, meaning that that's the conclusion that they arrive to with a sound premise, and they've got the evidence to support it. That's scientific theory. It was put through rigor and scrutiny to arrive at that conclusion. And it had passed the tests of scrutiny. That's how they determine what is, and peer review, of course, because you got to have the community of scientists who come together and they arrive at essentially the same result. And it can be testable. And it is testable. Because Christians don't think in that way. They think that science in itself is just a great big lie. Well, I can't think of any other way we can determine the reality of the universe and the world in which we inhabit. I can think of no other way. Science gives us a pretty good idea. And it works a hell of a lot better than that Christian bullshit that most people believe in. I should start my own religious channel. But yeah, I know. The thing is Amy and I, like I said, there's never, we live in a house divided, but
sometimes we bump heads, but
not
about that.
Not about that. We never have an argument about that. If she believes what she wants to believe, that's fine. I got no issue with it. No, not condone, condemn. I don't condemn it. I condone people to think and feel whatever they want. However, don't make decisions based on feelings. Make decisions based on evidence. That's the main thing, and that's the one of the main driving points that I try to show everybody. No, and I don't push my atheism on her. And by the way, atheism isn't a religion. It's just the rejection of claims made by theists. Per the name atheist. If you're a Christian, you're a theist. If you're a non-believer, you're an atheist. So, and by the way, as an atheist, I'm not making claims that there is no God. As an atheist, I'm saying that I see no evidence that would suggest to me anywhere as I look at the world, there is no evidence that suggests to me that a God exists or did exist, because, it just doesn't work. Science pretty much tells us quite a bit about the world we live in. Like all these people, and I'm going to get started on that subject, the people who think that the earth is flat. Oh my God, I can't control it. Oh. We're surfing on a hubcap through space and time, man. But, people have come to me in the past, a lot of people, and asked me what my thoughts are about death. Like, Jared, don't you know where you're going after you die? Yeah, 6 feet under the ground. Maybe. If I decide to be cremated, well, I'll be someone's bonfire, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it.
I would be cremated. If you throw my ashes on the floor, just put me with a little bit of dirt with me. I'm good.
Or as Willie Nelson says, roll me up and smoke me when I die.
I agree.
Yeah.
Fill me up and smoke me.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. He told me when I pass, take some of my
Yeah.
ashes, roll them up, and smoke them.
I think what, because people they look for an outside reference. They look for a fresh set of ears. They want to know what my thoughts are on this particular subject, death. I mentioned it, I think last week or a couple weeks ago, that I'm not stoked about death. I don't want to fucking die, but one day I'm gonna. I know I'm going to. There's nothing I can do to stop it. But instead of worrying about things that I can't control, I want to be more focused on the things I can control. While I'm still here, while I still exist, I want to meet other people. I want to have awesome memories. I want to have awesome food, mind blowing sex. I want to go to rock concerts. I want to live life, man. Couldn't ask for a better life. Just to live it and live it well. Don't worry about things you can't control. I made a video not long ago about it's called Fear of Death. And it's pretty much stemmed from people who've come to me in the past and want to know what my thoughts are about death and dying. Um, there's nothing I can do to stop it. But I don't fear my own mortality as much as I fear the mortality of everybody else, like my dad and my mom and even Amy and Jim and my brothers and my nieces and nephews. I fear their mortality more than I fear my own. I don't know. I know I'm going to die someday and there ain't shit I can do about it, but while I'm alive, I can have the best life. I can make awesome memories for other people. I can go places I've never been, see things I've always wanted to see, do things I've always wanted to do people I've never done. Yeah. Uh yeah. I don't need a god for that. I don't need religion for it. And when my life is over, and if I do stand before the bearded man, well, guess what? He's got some explaining to do because when I was a believer and I asked for divine intervention, he was nowhere to be found. So he's going to have some serious explaining to do if, in fact, there is an afterlife, which I'm not convinced there is. When you die, you die. When you're dead, you're dead. Show's over. The curtain falls. That's it. I'm going to be a smorgasbord for the maggots. And that's it. But, nowadays when people ask me, well, how's your day going, Jared? How you doing? I always say, well, both of my boots are on this side of the soil, so I call that a good fucking day. I'm a happy fucking guy. And that's my philosophy. But we are at the top of the hour or getting close to it. Yeah, we're down to the last couple minutes. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching me and listening to some of my thoughts. Before I let Dad and Amy take the floor, again, I want to reiterate briefly that my love and my condolences and my thoughts are with the people of East Lansing and the city of Lansing and MSU, and to the families of the victims who are affected. Um, I'm wearing my shirt today, my Sparty shirt, to show my love and support. Those of us, I'm not a sports fanatic, but I think we're all Spartan strong right now. My love and my heart is with all of you in East Lansing, and I can't make any guarantees that things will get better because nothing is going to be better ever again, but they might be a lot easier to manage. So much love to MSU. We're going to get through this. Dad, take it away.
All I can say is be safe out there and everything, and trust your neighbors. Make sure they're good. Make sure they're okay.
Amy?
Peace out. Be safe. Try to have a good life in this world today. That's all I can say.
All right, guys, we're out of here. I'm probably going to go to Owasso, do some shopping. I'll see you next week, guys. Much love as always. Peace out. And, to steal a page from Dad's book, just take care of each other, look after one another, and do things for the right reasons. So I'll see you next week. Bye bye.